Nat, so great to meet, to see you. I've interviewed you before many
I
years
know.
ago.
We've met before. Yeah, it's so great to see you.
How are things going with you, my friend?
They're going all right. I sprained my ankle yesterday on set, so I'm feeling
Oh,
bad for myself a little bit. Uh, but besides that, things have been, in contrast to the rest of the world, things have been really great for me.
well,
Yeah.
good. Well, take care of yourself. That is for sure.
Yeah.
That's important. Congratulations on this. Honestly, I
Yeah.
had the opportunity to talk to Gia the other day, and I couldn't tell her enough how much I was so impressed with this movie. It really struck a nerve. And you've worked with her before. You were on her first film,
Right.
Palo Alto, and I wanted to know when she approached you with this idea and what your reaction was to it.
So when we did Palo Alto, I was 16 when I met Gia, and we're like brother and sister since then. But when I did Palo Alto at the very end of shooting, I told Gia how upset I was feeling, playing, I don't know if you've seen it, but I was playing such a dark guy. And I had this kind of sick feeling at the end of the shoot. And she said, okay, I promise you on the next one, you're going to be a sweet guy. You're going to be a really sweet character. And so she, and then over the years, we'd hang out all the time. And once in a while she'd be like, okay, you better be ready because you're doing mainstream. And it went through a lot of permutations, but anytime I've, have gotten to work with Gia, it's been like a dream. It's like the dream, what you dream a director is going to be. And usually they aren't. So it's, she's not only a great friend, but she's a real artist, and she lets, and like a real artist, she responds to other artists and they turn her on, and it's always really collaborative and beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah, and I want to this casting. I mean, everybody in this cast is so good, and your character, Jake, as you say, he is the sweet guy. He's just out for, he's good at, but he's kind of fallen for this girl. Listen,
Totally, yeah.
Maya, she's fantastic in this too.
Right.
But at the end of the day, when you guys start to put together this YouTube show and you start to see what's going on here and how Andrew's character becomes so narcissistic and gets so involved with it, you play, you're the moral compass.
I was going to say that. You took the words out of my mouth.
Do you feel that you related to him in that way? Are you that kind of a guy?
I think in my better moments I can be, but I there are times it's like the YouTube business is not, and what they're doing is not that different from, being an actor, being a musician, and being in this world that can just easily, you can be corrupted before you even realize it, or sell out and you realize you had, it's but I do feel like when I finished the movie, because Jake, the character, was the moral compass, and he saw the big picture, and he sounded the alarm, when it started to get headed for disaster, and he was like, he wasn't blinded by ambition, he had artistic integrity and moral integrity. I felt like at the end of the movie, I didn't want to let go of Jake. It was like the opposite of Palo Alto, kind of, where I felt like this guy was some of the best versions of myself, and in a way, I feel like I learned a lot from Jake, stand up for what's right, and so in that way, it was a real good learning experience.
That's amazing. That's good to hear that. Watching.
I'm like, no, I'm Link.
You're okay.
I would say I'm Link.
Okay, let's just go there.
Okay, I'm a narcissist.
Okay, but would you?
So in real life, I'm a narcissist, but in the movie, I'm not the narcissist.
Got it. Okay.
I want to make that clear.
All right, we get it. But I have to ask you, let's just talk about Link. Andrew Garfield, I think it's one of the most spectacular performances I've ever seen. Now, first of all, if you looked in a script and said, I got to run down Hollywood Boulevard in a dildo, do you think that you would be able to do that?
I would say that my biggest actor's envy in the world was that day when because I watched him strap on the 8-inch dildo, and it was a last minute decision because he was originally going to go in like some nude underwear, and then he was like, and then I think Greta, our acting teacher, and him, they were like, I think we should put on a big dildo, and I was like, oh my God, this is the one moment I'm so fucking jealous. But Andrew, I think, is the best actor of his generation, hands down. And and I say his generation because it's not mine, because he's old as hell. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, old too, for sure.
He's one of my best friends in the world, and I feel like I learned so much from him. Right after I worked on this movie, I went to go do The Stand, this miniseries, and I really feel like I copped a lot of his shit. I just was like, I was so inspired by him. I thought, wow, he really went on the edge, and he didn't care about pleasing anybody. And there was something, you know, in his performance, and there was something that was so inspiring and just like jaw-droppingly amazing about it. And he's just, you know, and I've seen him in Angels in America. Like the guy, he's just a freak of nature actor. And so I feel like I feel lucky to be his friend, and so lucky to have worked, you know, on the movie with them.
Yeah. Lastly, I want to ask you, did your decision or your the way you think about social media change? Because you and your brother, obviously, look, you're going to be giving us new music, you're musicians.
Yeah.
Social media can have its positive and it can have its negative. How do you
Damn, I just lost
because obviously as a musician, even as an actor, you promote your stuff.
I think I got the question. I lost you for 1 second of internet, but yeah, I mean, so like my brother and I just made an album. We're going to be putting it out in social media because we've been with record labels, and a lot of times the labels just sort of take a lot of our profit and don't give that much. So we ended up putting out a lot of our music on social media, and it's been an amazing tool. And it's also a great way to connect. And I think it was an amazing way to connect during, you know, once George Floyd was killed and we all went to protest, you'd find where the protest was on Twitter. And, you know, people like Mark Ruffalo, I feel like, use Twitter in such an amazing way.
For sure.
But I also think, you know, it's a tool used to gang up on people and bully them and you know, and it's like hugely related to teen suicide and to like the forming of QAnon and misinformation. And I know that when I had it on my phone, you know, when I was using Instagram like a you know, where I'd scroll through other people's Instagram, which I don't do anymore. It was like 18. I had it for about 6 months, and I felt like every morning I would check it. Like I felt like I had to, almost like an addiction. And I felt a cool breeze through my body, and it felt like it killed something in me. Like every morning I felt like it killed something in me.
Yeah. It's a tough balance. But
it's
listen,
a tough balance. Yeah.
For much longer. You're such a delight. You're always such a pleasure to talk to. You're so good in this film.
Oh, thank you so
honestly,
much.
I can't wait to see what you've got coming next. So take care of that ankle, okay?
Okay, thank you so much. It's so nice to see you. I can't wait to see you on the next one.